Shwmae Blwyddyn 7, Mrs Matthew sydd yma. The next part of your work online will be a speaking assessment. I will talk through all aspects of the speaking assessment, and you'll be able to watch this PowerPoint presentation back as many times as you need to until you are happy that you understand what you need to do for the task. The speaking assessment will have 2 parts. Rhan 1, part 1, and Rhan 2, part 2. For the first part, you are required to talk about Dyma Fi. Dyma Fi was the first topic that we did in the first term, and it included many of the things that are in the table below, like your enw, ble rydych chi'n byw, where you live, oed, penblwydd, ysgol gyfun, ysgol gynradd, and so on. Rhan 2, part 2 of your speaking assessment, will involve the theme that you have just learnt about online, which is archarwyr, superheroes. And you've completed task 4, which was a description of your favourite superhero, and that will be the second part of your speaking presentation for this assessment. So if we look in more detail then at part 1, Rhan 1. The first part of the presentation, you need to introduce yourself in Welsh, of course, including key sentence patterns that you learnt last term. Now, you should aim to include as much information as possible here because this is an assessment task. But at the very least, we would expect you to include your name, your age, where you live, school that you go to, likes and dislikes. In the blue box here, you'll see a full list of the things that you could include. Remember to give reasons for your opinion and include plenty of appropriate idioms. These will help you to achieve a higher level on the curriculum levels. We will look now at part 2 in more detail, Rhan 2. Rhan 2 archarwyr, superheroes. So for the second part of the presentation, you will need to look back at task 4 that you completed on your favourite superhero. You need to aim to include as much information as possible once again, but at the very least the bullet points that I have here. So your superhero's name, what superpowers they have, what they wear, and your opinion about them. Remember, this part of the presentation will be in the third person. So you will need sentence patterns like mae ein, mae hi'n, ei enw e ydi, ei henw hi ydi, mae e'n gallu, mae hi'n gallu. You might want to start this second part of the presentation with the sentence pattern heddiw hoffwn ni siarad am fy hoff archarwr, sef, and then the name of your superhero there. Now, as this is an assessment, your teacher will be marking you against the curriculum levels. They are here in the white table for you to see from level 2 up to level 6. Your teacher will be marking your presentation and keeping the marks in their mark book. This will be a speaking assessed level. So you need to remember to include as much detail as possible, to vary your sentence patterns, that you're not using doing all of the time. Express your opinion, giving plenty of reasons. Say the words accurately and clearly, so you need to practice your pronunciation, and use the third person correctly. In order to achieve the higher levels, we would expect to see sentence patterns like yn fy marn i, dwi'n meddwl bod, a dweud y gwir, a bod yn honest, ar yr un llaw, ar y llaw arall, and also that you use Welsh idioms in your work. So let's look then at saying difficult words. Some words in the topic superheroes archarwyr were tricky. Archarwr, superhero. Archarwyr, superheroes. Archarwr, archarwyr. Mwgwd. Mwgwd meaning mask. Mwgwd. Tarian, Tarian was a shield, if you remember. Tarian. Clogin. Clogin was a cape. Clogin. Penwysg. Breichled. Here's a tricky one. Breichled, bracelet. Breichled. And gallu. Gallu is an important word that came up in this topic. Gallu, can. Mae ein gallu, mae hi'n gallu. He can, she can. Gallu. Now then, this is the important part of the presentation, and this part refers to how are you actually going to record and submit the work to your teachers. Well, the easiest way for this to be achieved is if you use your phones. So you could submit on your phones a voice recording. We do not want a video recording, please. Could you ensure that it is a voice recording only of your presentation? In order to do this, you need to use voice memos on your phone. Now, you will need the Teams app on your phone also. Now, it's quite likely you've already got the Teams app on your phone, but if you haven't yet, you can achieve this by going to the App Store on your phone and downloading the Teams app. And you can see the picture on the screen of how that app looks. It's the Teams app. Now, your teacher will have already put this PowerPoint on your Teams so that as an assignment, so that you can access it and listen to it. And when you go into those assignments, you will see an icon, Add Work. And you can see a picture here of that icon, Add Work. It's got a little paper clip next to it. And that will allow you to click on that and add work. You can upload these from your device. So that would be your phone. So you would be able to click on Upload from the device. And your voice memo that you will have completed and saved will be in your photo library. So you will then need to go to your photo library and select that voice recording that you have completed for your assessment. It will contain your assessment and you select it, and it will appear then under your added work. The final step then is to go to the right hand side of your screen where you will be able to click the Hand In option. Once you've handed the assignment in to us, which will be your voice recording, we will be able to mark it and access it on our Teams. Finally, these are the important dates and deadlines. You will see your class here, when your teacher will actually set this task for you on Teams, when your teacher will expect you to submit the presentation onto Teams also. So if I take, for example, my 7.0 class, I will be seeing 7.0 on the Teams on Thursday the 21st of the 1st 21. In that Thursday team session, I will be telling them to go through the assignment, to listen to it and to check the task. They will then have the 2 lessons following that on Teams to prepare the work. Now this includes writing your script, your dyma fi part and your archarwyr part. Learn the work really carefully, go over it and ensure that you've learnt it off by heart. Then in the 3rd lesson, they will be expected to record that presentation and submit the assessment on Teams. That lesson would be Tuesday the 2nd of the 2nd, 21. Now remember, for all these lessons that you prepare the work and are recording the work, your teachers will be on the Teams chat to assist you with any questions that you might have. Pob lwc flwyddyn saith. Hwyl!